Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Eventer Talk, brought to you by Eventerprise.com. And today I'm joined by Birgit Thumeke, our Chief Growth Officer and co-founder of Eventerprise. And today we would like to discuss a heavy document called the Stakeholder Report.
Yes.
And this should be interesting for everyone out there who would like to know what exactly is Eventerprise busy doing? What are our focus areas?
Yeah.
If you're a potential investor, if you would like to collaborate with us as a partner, as a strategic partner, then this is definitely an addition that you need to watch.
Yeah.
As usual, if there's anything that we discuss that you would like to know more about, please get in touch with us. There's both some links to our cooperation partner and investor landing pages, and you're also welcome to pop a comment in, and one of us will get back to you with the correct information.
Yeah.
So Birgit, we need to now, first of all, tell the people out there, what do we mean by our stakeholder report?
Okay, the stakeholder report is a piece of communication, of content that we use for our investor relations. And that goes over and above your normal static kind of investor relation reports. There's been a trend that you have to do this also in a more emotive and informative way, over and above, obviously, your normal newsletters and the normal information that you send out to your investors. And we at Eventerprise have now decided to do that once a month. This will be the first edition, and it's covering like about 6-8 weeks almost.
Yeah.
And what we're showing in there is we're sharing basically the progress that we have made over the last couple of months. And we have grouped that, I don't know it off by heart, I think I can, into various segments.
To make it easy to digest the different areas that we focus on.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we display basically the whole ecosystem that we operate in and show where we are at in certain areas and what project successes we can report on and so forth. So, and there's a few.
And what lies on the horizon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So shall we just give a few highlights in some of these areas, things that really stand out for us that's happened over the past 6 weeks?
Yes.
And let's kick off with partnerships, because it's obviously very important to us. As an early stage company, it's been proven that good strategic partnerships is what actually helps you grow and get you where you want to be. So probably the most notable event has been the announcements that we have discussed it before and an Eventer Talk of the $3 million raise that we are conducting in partnership with Act 5 Ventures, led by Peter Henry, who's a very well-known Bay Area serial entrepreneur and investor, angel investor. So is there anything about that particular announcement and the partnership with Peter that you would like to highlight? Yeah,
most certainly. So there is, first of all, an explanation about the arrangement. The 3 million consists out of 600 in convertible notes that we are busy raising right now, then followed by 2.4 million in a Series A raise against the valuation of $10 million for Eventerprise. So we elaborate on that. We show also an endorsement letter that Peter Henry has kindly issued for us, as him being the lead investor and a very well-known figure in the Bay Area. And
it's probably worth also mentioning that Peter has been involved in quite a few early stage companies and mentoring them all the way through the process as well.
Yes, number of startups that he's involved in. He sits also on many boards of different angel groups. He is a serial entrepreneur himself, so he's very well connected. He understands tech very well. So we're very fortunate to cooperate with Peter and with Act 5. So all of this information will be available in the stakeholder reports with certain links that people can click on if they really want to dive deeper into the detailed information.
Absolutely. So if someone, for example, is interested in investment opportunities with Eventerprise, and they feel they would like to bounce off someone with Peter's insights, they can actually get in contact with Peter directly as well.
Totally. Absolutely, yeah.
And we will pop the link to Act 5 Ventures into the comments box. Queen behind the scenes will sort that out for you if you'd like to get into contact with Peter and just some benchmarking questions, etc. that some people may have.
Absolutely, yeah.
Then it's probably also worthwhile mentioning that we're busy with a few outreach campaigns.
Yes.
They are the industry associations.
Yes, we are looking for trade bodies and industry associations in the United States, predominantly, that we would like to partner with. I mean, they have memberships of thousands and of event professionals, whether that be event suppliers, event vendors, venues, but we can offer them a preferential membership fee to come on our site. And what those associations don't offer their members, and I also don't think that is core of their business, is obviously a business exposure. Absolutely. They invite them for general meetings where they then all amongst themselves, and they also get to see some competitors and they may learn from each other. Some memberships provide in certain areas training. But they're not a multiplier. They're not there to put them in front of potential clients, because they have websites, but they don't have a portal, and we have a platform that obviously exposes the vendors.
And it's a fact that many of the industry bodies and associations are run by people who are actively busy with their own businesses as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I think the great help here is that we're able to boost their members' digital visibility.
Absolutely.
And we're prepared to offer it at a premium level, at a discount.
Absolutely.
For your members. And it gets driven by the body itself.
Yeah.
We are pretty hands-off. We do the work in the background.
Absolutely.
That's what we do.
And that is the value that we offer the association. And that's something that, from all the conversations I've had, is really needed. And, It's like I said, it's not their reason for existence to do what we are doing. So it's complementary, and we can benefit both from that.
And it's a bit of a protection for some associations from merely becoming a listing. Directory, glorified directory. Now you've got a chance to give your members interactive business pages on a site where they can actually network with each other.
Yes.
Which is quite a dynamic proposition. Something else that we're looking at is also sales partners. There are a few initiatives in place.
Yes. So our team in San Francisco, and also when I was there, when was I there? March, April, around about that time, I met with a few prospects. And we are further down the line now. We have a short list, and we have exchanged all the information that's necessary. We have tested a few.
What are we looking for in a sales partner there?
Okay, right now we are looking for a sales partner that has the digital understanding, the digital savviness that it needs.
Understand software as a service, for example.
Absolutely. For being our voice and our linking pin into the US market. And I try to circumvent the term call center because we're not looking for the typical run-of-the-mill call center outbound provider. We're looking for a boutique-style digital agency that also offers voice, but is using multi-channel, absolutely, across all the channels, social engagement over social networks, emails, but also phone calls, because in this early stage, voice is very important.
Absolutely.
And we
the direct contact with the potential clients.
Absolutely, and definitely not like the call center with a certain average handling time and with high volumes and low margin. We want a partner that has a consultative approach to our clientele, or whose employees have the empowerment to run each conversation as it should run. Obviously, we do have interview guidelines and scripts and templates.
But those scripts need to organically develop during the interaction.
Yes.
It's a brand new product that makes a lot of sense. It's a brand new, it's never been available within the event space before. Yeah. So you need someone who's able to think on their feet.
Absolutely.
Be agile about it.
Yes. So we're looking for a partner that sees the potential, that has the SaaS and digital understanding, that has staff that is able to behave and is allowed to behave agile and also gets remunerated as a more consultant than
performance remuneration, rather than you've done 100 calls today and that's what you get remunerated for.
No bumps in seat business, more high end niche.
Absolutely. That sounds interesting. So if there's any of you out there watching this, if you're interested in partnering us in the US as a sales partner, do get into contact. Take into account the criteria that we've just mentioned. Something else that we want to partner about is demand generation. From a revenue generating perspective, Eventerprise is very much focused on the B2B side.
Totally.
Where we've got the premium profiles, we've got Eventer ads and different products. But we would like to partner because we consider most other event platforms to be complementary.
Yes, we do so. There are so many people that are somehow fishing in this huge event pond, and it's a bit overinflated, I think. But what people don't realize is that you have specialists that pick out a certain segment or a certain vertical.
For example, wedding planners or a specific geographical area, only California, that kind of thing.
That kind of thing. So wedding is a super example because it's so super specialized, like the knot and the wedding wire.
And there are many of them.
So many of them. Then, like you said, geographically ring-fenced. They just operate out of certain areas, other providers. Some just provide venues. And some just do it to the corporate world, not at all to the private world, or vice versa.
Apps is another big example. It's growing quite fast.
And event tech, the new term with all the tech terms, is providing software solutions, mostly just ticketing, like Eventbrite, and Cvent, for example. So what Eventerprise is and what distinguishes Eventerprise from all these other players, and while we believe that they're complementary, is we are the one-stop shop, the one place to go to market. The umbrella, where we are totally vertical and geographically agnostic. We cater for private as well as for corporate events, and we are showing vendors on our website and venues. And the good thing about it is we're giving them a digital presence, because the profiles that we're creating for them is nothing else than a mini website that we do. Yeah. So we take that off their hands.
Mobile friendly and digitally optimized.
Totally, We also don't believe that as an event provider you should be as SEO fundy. If you make great catering, that's certainly a different core competence.
Well, I can speak from experience. That's quite a noodle ramen soup, the SEO, and you need to be up to date with Google's algorithm changes. So it's a relief when you can hand it over to someone else.
And even and we obviously also looking at enterprise businesses. I even think on enterprise business level, I mean, pick an example. Give me any industry. Nowadays they all want to become the jack of all trades, which takes the focus away from the actual real existence, the core competence, the core business. And you can find an agency that does it for you. And traditionally, those marketing agencies would be the first to raise their hand with $10, $20, $30, $50,000 bill per month. Very high markups. And if you really look at the marketing agencies, they also don't come from a digital background. They come from print.
A lot of them are trying to adapt.
They try
very desperately.
Absolutely. But they are digital agencies, and some are better than others, and you can buy your services through them. But the price ticket that you have to pay is horrendous. And what you can get through us, through a digital footprint displayed on Eventerprise, as a basic premium profile, is really affordable. And then we have all the add-ons as well.
There are basically options for every evolutionary stage of your business. If you're just starting out and you've got a very tiny budget, then there's definitely something worthwhile there for you.
Yeah.
If you are running a massive corporate events department for your company, there are more than enough options for you as well. The big guns that you can get out. So in one package, you've got all those options.
Absolutely, yeah.
I just want to go into back to the investment-focused aspects of the stakeholder report, and it's probably worthwhile mentioning that our business plan is in place for five-year forecast.
Yeah, we've got a solid financial model and business plan, covering the next 5 years. Very, very cool work. We've completed a whole due diligence process. So we've stocked a deal room. Obviously, only interested party would get access to that, and that would go via Act 5. But that's all done and dusted. All worked fine.
So someone that's any party with serious interest in investing in Eventerprise will not have to wait for information.
No.
It is already there, and it has gone through a San Francisco-based due diligence process.
Yes.
So it's benchmarked with what happens in Silicon Valley. We hope that's a good thing.
It is a good thing. And we accredited. I mean, we did it. It's fine. Anybody that wants to have a deeper look may have so. And there's nothing that we can't deliver should it not already be existent.
That includes also our go-to-market strategy is in there.
Everything.
It's worthwhile mentioning that all our trademarks have been registered in the US.
Very important. We fully incorporated in the US, and the trademarks have been registered as well.
Fantastic. So against this background, over the past few weeks, with CEO Goods in San Francisco, he was joined for a few weeks by Barry, our head of digital, and they actually attended quite a number of pitch events that stood out. So I know one of the bigger ones was the Tech Coast Angels in Los Angeles, but it was actually in Irvine in Orange County. They considered one of the biggest angel groups in the US. And how did those events go? Any feedback from that?
Yeah, so I did the pre-screening over WebEx. So I was in Cape Town, and I was afforded 10 minutes. And it was very well organized, and I did this, and we came through the pre-screening, and then Götz and Barry went there in person and pitched there. But for the group, as the group Tech Coast Angels, they're not taking this further. There were other companies, and they seems to be focusing more in biotech.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that any of the investors on the books of Tech Coast, they're totally allowed to invest individual, and there were a few that have showed interest, and we're following up with those. So it was also all in all a very successful event because we got the exposure. We had to prepare for it. It's also very good. The more and often you do it, the more you learn. And we've got positive feedback from it. So, yeah, good.
And thanks, Birgit. And another interesting one was the one organized by Microsoft in San Francisco. And that one was based on corporate innovation and corporate venture. And Goods was part of the panel there. Any interesting details about that particular meeting?
And that was a small group of people, but really interesting people from other companies like Microsoft, like Google, like Cisco, and a small, I think about 20 people only. So very intimate and very good for networking and follow up. But it also showed us that we are right on the right track with our cooperation partner approach, so that everything is going more into the direction of cooperation. Now, how do we complement each other? Partnering.
Like we mentioned at the beginning of this.
So that was a total endorsement for our cooperation partner initiative, and yet another very fruitful event. For us to meet new people that we're still in contact with and follow up on.
While you're mentioning cooperation partners, interesting addition that we've made to our cooperation universe, so to speak, was the ability to add your brand to certain parts of the Eventerprise platform. And we've developed a tier structure of participation there, where you can actually get your brand as an anchor brand on certain pages of Eventerprise, the high traffic ones, etc.
We have developed a full spectrum from really light banner advertising to kryptonite level.
Yeah, where you can be the cornerstone.
Yeah.
Advertiser.
Yes. For example, let's pick a technology or a technical provider like Samsung. Obviously, the events industry will be very meaningful for a company like Samsung, given all the technical equipment you need to run an event very successfully. So if they want to sign up a kryptonite relationship, cooperation partnership with us, then obviously they will be the only ones. We can negotiate exclusivity, but we can also just feature Samsung in certain geographies on certain of our sites. So from very, very simple banner advertising all the way
very niche focus, for example. And what we mean by that is the fact that because Eventerprise is an umbrella platform, it gives the opportunity for niche marketing as well.
Yes.
It's the global approach. So if you would like your brand to appear only in the exhibition category within North America, then that is totally possible. And at the other end of the scale, like you just mentioned, the kryptonite option is if you you've got exclusive presence on our platform.
Yes, and I do think that is very appealing to a lot of industries, particularly those industries that need to get their digital footprint up and running. I mean, everybody is talking about digital transformation. Some mean it really seriously, and for some it's just a mere placeholder on an org chart. But there are lots of industries that just need to further their reach. So they can do that through us, but also through partnering with us. They can also learn from us as a digital startup what they cannot replicate or simulate in their own house. And a lot of companies have recognized that, and a lot of consultants, not a lot, actually 2 big consultancy firms being Deloitte, the digital office, and Accenture, they actually bringing those 2 parties together. So those corporates, they need credible boardroom stories, and they need to understand where they put their money in, and do they actually understand what's going on in digital, and what do they actually understand what it takes to be an entrepreneur in a startup, which is, you know, certainly very informative and meaningful to a normal traditional corporate culture. So everything is possible. And in those industries that we have identified, I just mentioned Samsung, but let's talk about the insurance industry, for instance.
That's a big one. It's one of those hidden components of the events industry, but it's got a huge impact.
Absolutely. And it's totally needed for any event. So
both from a client and from a vendor perspective.
Absolutely. And so we're reaching out to cooperation partners. We're also reaching out to bigger MICE companies and bigger events and conference companies like Informa. So
there's a whole gamut of potential cooperations.
Yes.
Pretty much, if you feel that your business has got some synergy with some aspect of the events industry, then it's worthwhile getting in touch with us. And there's enough proven proof out there that it's beneficial for incumbent companies to partner with digital first companies. It's what I like to call a digital DNA injection.
That's a very good term. A lot of them need a lot of these injections, you know, and we have them.
And it's one of the most cost-effective ways to do it.
Yes.
I just want to, before we run out of time, people is central to what we do, and it's central to one of the things that we've learned from our engagements in California is that investors want to know what the team is up to, who's in the team, what have they done, what are they doing, what's the vision, and what's the culture, how does the team work. So the latest news is I think our Eventer Camp Young Gun program is going really well. We've got a United Nations of youngsters at the moment from all over, from Nigeria, from the US, from France,
Holland,
from
Germany,
the UK. So we've got, and I feel that the program is really starting to hit its straps.
There's someone coming from the Bahamas now, no?
And from the Bahamas as well. So everybody actually hears about us, you know. And if there's anyone watching who would like to participate, Aquina will put the Eventercamp link in there. Have a squiz. If you've got any questions, ask us.
Can I say something?
Sure.
What I find so astonishing, and I just realized it now. I mean, I always knew it, obviously, in the back of my mind because I'm working here. So there are two components to say to our people composition. First of all, the young gun team that we spoke about, it's millennial people, you know, we can learn a lot from them, you know, and it keeps us on our toes. The diversity aspect of it, which helps to create and change constantly, because you constantly need to put yourselves in the shoes of the other person, and that keeps you on your toes, as I said, you know, and that is a creative process for me. It's not same like, oh, I know how I can read your thoughts, and kind of thing.
Contributes to a universal culture as well,
totally.
Instead of a silo type culture.
Totally. Yeah. And then we have a very seasoned and experienced management team, which is also not the norm in the normal startup environment. We all have our backgrounds from entrepreneurships and corporate stints that we all have done. And that is a very, very attractive combination that you find very seldom, because we totally cut out the middleman. You know, that middle layer management, you know, that costs you a lot but doesn't get you really five, you know what I mean, you know. And we all get our hands dirty, we're fully involved, and we let our young guns also work on really important and serious projects so they can fail forward and learn a lot.
I think that the way that we usually frame it is that young guns are able to work on go-to-market projects.
For instance,
instead of doing filing and stuff like that, they can see the results of their input almost immediately.
Yeah. So they learn a great deal here with us, and also in return, we learn a great deal with them, and keeps us young and fresh.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And we also received a few heavyweight endorsements. You've mentioned Peter Henry from Act 5 Ventures, who's endorsed us, and he's also joining our advisory board.
Yep.
Together with Anil Advani from Eventus Law.
Anil is the head of Eventus Law. They are based in Palo Alto, and him and the lawyers that work for him have done all our incorporation in the US. So yeah, we're very honored that Anil and both Peter have joined the advisory board. We've got some heavy hitters now in the advisory board.
I was about to say, we now really have sort of an A team when it comes to advisory boards. You know, if we include our Swiss and German advisors in the financial and
legal space,
together with these two gentlemen joining us. Now we just need a female on that advisory board.
Yes. Okay.
And we're looking for one, by the way.
Yeah.
If there are any angel investors, VC, female, etc. We've got a female co-founder. We just need to get
someone on the
advisory board. Absolutely. Then I would like to just finish off with looking forward. What are our main focus areas going forward into the next 4 weeks, next month or so?
Definitely go to market LA. You know, it's happening. So we're in the midst of it, creating more profiles for LA, doing more lead generation and mailings out into the LA area. We've also got another sales partner that I omitted to mention. He's like a mailing expert. So Barry, our head of digital, is busy setting up a project with him. So biggest milestone is go to market Los Angeles. Obviously, like I mentioned earlier, eventually tying the knot with a sales partner. Then also one cooperation that is, we can't announce it right now, but we're working on it with another platform, but again, a complementary platform, which will give us great network effects. And then the raise of the 600 convertible note. We want to have our first tranche close in the second week of July, latest, which is just around the corner, and get that over and done with. Yes, and then prepare for Series A.
Right. Well, that sounds pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Just for anyone who's in events in the Los Angeles or even Greater California, if you'd like to participate in one of our case studies, get featured for free on Eventerprise, we promote your business. You're more than welcome to get in touch with us, and the application page link will be added to the comments field as well. So you're welcome to get in touch. Becca, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.
I understand more now about our stakeholder report. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Give us your questions. We would love to answer them, or just connect with us. And we will be forwarding. If you'd like us to send the stakeholder report to you, please let us know. We would like to send it to as many many eyeballs as possible. Thanks for watching, and see you next week. Ciao.
Bye. Ciao, ciao.